Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily futures market review for the trading day ending Wednesday, October 28th. Firstly to gold futures, and here we see very strong selling in this market for today's trading. The market extending up through very close to the 1185 level of resistance. The buyers losing commitment in a very strong manner up through that area. Also the 1170 level has come into play once again. That's an area that has been tested on multiple occasions over the last week or so, and we've seen very strong rejection from that area, with the market failing to close up above that area, and also the Candlestick coming into play as resistance. Today we've seen the sellers take very strong control by closing down towards the low. But as expected, this previous resistance area, 1155, has held as some support, so that's going to be the benchmark moving forward. But it certainly does seem that with this solid build of momentum and this large black body candle forming, the sellers taking strong control, it's very likely that this area could be breached and the market trade to lower levels. But let's not preempt the market, let's react to the market, and at the moment there is still a good possibility of this area holding as support, and that's what we're seeing at the moment in this new candle that is developing. Time frame and the medium term time frame, and that suggests that the next move, if we can find some solid support and the buyers can come back into this market, the next move is likely to be to the upside. But with the strong resistance overhead, significantly above the Tenkan-sen and the 1170 area, we are going to have to see a bullish close up above there to confirm that the buyers are the strong party in the market, especially in that shorter term time frame. At the moment we have a negative market in the short-term time frame by trading below the Tenkan-sen. Interestingly, the Chica span is still supporting the bullishness, so there is still hope for the buyers. If we do see the market trade lower, looking to the Kijun-sen to come into play as support, 1147, and then down below there the 1145 area. Next to NYMEX oil, and solid buying coming into this market for today's trading. If you recall, yesterday we were watching this downtrend. We saw formation of the small bodied candle. We saw the loss of commitment of the sellers down close to the 42.45 level. We also saw the control move from the sellers from the previous day's trading back to the buyers here very weakly, but importantly it was about the lack of strength of the sellers down at this candle. Also the formation of a potential hammer type pattern, and we have seen confirmation of that today with a very strong candle. So reading the short-term dynamics here certainly has suggested, as we were watching yesterday, that there was going to be a change of trend and confirmed. Now it doesn't always work out like that, and that's why confirmation is very important, and we have seen that today. Very large white body candle, one of the largest that we've seen for quite some time. For the next day, with this being something of an extreme candle, we might not see the strong follow through, but also importantly the market has broken out through the top of the Ichimoku cloud in a bullish manner. So we have a bullish market in the longer term time frame as well as the short term time frame, but we want to see some strong follow through to confirm, and that strong follow through really would need to include the market breaching through 46.72 resistance and above the Kijun-sen resistance at that level in a strong bullish manner. Next to wheat futures, and change of trend here as well, and yesterday, if you recall, suggesting that was a likelihood. Buyers in control previously, strong white body candle, and this candle with a very small body had formed, so the buyers had lost the net momentum to the upside. The shadow on the top of this candle found the buyers losing commitment at 516.50, and the sellers had taken strong control by closing down towards the low. It set the market up for this change of trend that we've seen confirmed here. But if we look at the characteristics of this candle, not a strong candle for the sellers either. Yes, a black body, so momentum in net terms is to the downside, but it's very, very small and not significant enough. We've also seen the large shadow form on the bottom, so the sellers have lost commitment down at that round number 500 and at the Tenkan-sen support, and also the sellers have lost the control that they had, and that could be quite important. So potential for a change of trend back to the upside. Importantly, the Kijun-sen is trading around where the very close to where the market is closed. That may offer itself a strong resistance, roughly about the 507 level, and if that area is breached, we could trade up to this previous resistance level 516.50, and we could see some selling coming in around that region if the market is strong enough to trade up to there. But really at the moment, not a good market to be trading. We're testing now down below the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen, then above, and possible test down below again here. So a lot of indecision in this market in the short term and the medium term timeframes, as well as trading within the Ichimoku cloud. Over the next week or so, we may have an opportunity to break out. Next to corn futures, and here we saw previously this was an even more bearish candle from the previous day's trading. It was still in an uptrend, set the market up perfectly for the change of trend here. The sellers had built strong momentum, taken control away from the buyers and momentum away from the buyers, and had been very strongly committed. The buyers losing commitment above the 385 level of previous resistance and the Kijun-sen. The sell-off here has seen the market breach through the support at the bottom of the cloud, so that's quite important, and a bearish breakout. But we want to see strong bearish follow-through to confirm the negative activity and then to confirm a bear market in the longer term time frame. Support here 376 has been tested on multiple occasions in the recent past, and that's going to be the benchmark, but a solid bearish close down below there, and if we can possibly close down below this swing low around 372, we could eventually see the market trading down to 367. Next to the US 30-year bond futures, and here we see a change of trend back to the downside. The trend was up on a very small bodied candle. It represented a distinct lack of momentum that we had in the previous day's candle with this larger white body that set the market up for the change of trend that we've seen. Also the large shadow on the top of the candle around this area here where we'd seen previous rejection from. Very strong resistance extending up to about the 159 level, and set the market up for the change of trend. The sellers had closed with control here on this candle, even though we had a white body candle, and it set this market up or added to the list that we had potential for a change of trend. With this current candle forming a black body, we have some solid downside momentum, but what we've seen here is the sellers lose commitment down below the 157.12 level, a previous level of resistance and important support, and testing down through there has seen that loss of commitment. If the sellers are strong enough and if they can breach down through there in a bearish manner, we could see the bonds trading lower. But with the sellers not taking control of the market, it is suggesting that there is potential for the market to trade back up to the upside, but still continuing to watch this zone here as an area of potentially strong resistance, and watching very closely here where the market's trading at the moment with the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen trading around this area, offering very strong support around this 157.30 region. To the hourly charts on the S&P 500 futures, and here we saw the market break out through the top of the Ichimoku cloud, selling off after some very weak candles and finding support at the bottom of the cloud and very close to the Kijun-sen indicator, then rallying through the second pivot point resistance level, selling off to find support at the first pivot point support level and through the Ichimoku cloud, rallying in a strong manner towards the end of the day, but not quite reaching the third pivot point resistance level. At the moment, we've opened up well above each of the Ichimoku indicators, well above the Ichimoku cloud and the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and the market is looking just a little overextended in the depth of price action away from there. And we've also opened well above the middle pivot point level. There is a possibility of a retracement, watching the middle pivot point level 2074 to hold as support, as well as the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen around 2070. If those areas fail, we should have very strong support for the next few hours around the top of the cloud, with the first pivot point support level around there around 2063, and a strong bearish breach down through the cloud could see the second pivot point support level tested around 2045.